Hi guys, it's Divya here. Welcome to my spoken English practice vlog. So, yeah, if you're new to my channel, I'm doing spoken English practice every day and I'm recording it as a memory or like to track my progress. So, you can take whatever is for. So, yeah, with no further delay, let's get into the video. So today's topic for grammar reading is past tense. There are four types of past tense are there. Simple past, past continuous, past perfect and past continuous perfect. Luke was a builder who was determined to make his business a financial success. His wife Mia was an accountant who was loved by her clients. One day, their neighbor Martin invited them to attend a meeting and hear about a business opportunity. Martin didn't give much detail about it, but the meeting was just a few doors away and they liked him, so they decided to go. Besides, they would probably meet some new neighbors. As the meeting progressed, Luke and Mia couldn't believe what they were seeing and hearing. They saw a network marketing plan that gave them the opportunity to achieve financial freedom and a level of success beyond their imagination. Surrounded by green fields, there lived a farmer named Thomas. Thomas had two sons, Jack and Ben. Both boys were 14 years old and loved helping their father in the fields. One sunny morning, Thomas called his sons to the backyard. He held two small seeds in his hand. Boys, he said with a gentle smile, I'm giving each of you one seed. Plant it, take care of it, and let's see what happens. Jack took his seed and examined it closely. Father, what kind of seed is this? You'll find out when it grows, Thomas replied mysteriously. Ben took his seed and nodded. I'll do my best, father. The next day, both boys prepared their small garden pots. They dug the soil, planted their seeds, and watered them carefully. Days passed. Jack watered his seed every morning and evening. He checked it constantly, hoping to see something growing, but nothing appeared. After 1 week, Jack became impatient. He dug around the seed to check if it was still there. Maybe my seed is broken. He dug around the seed to check if it was still there. Maybe my seed is broken, he muttered. Meanwhile, Ben watered his seed quietly every day. He didn't dig it up or disturb it. He simply trusted the process. 2 weeks passed. Jack's frustration grew. He saw no progress at all. One afternoon, he ran to his father. Dad, I think my seed is dead. Nothing is growing. Ben probably got a better seed than me. Thomas smiled calmly. Have you been taking care of it? Yes, every single day. Jack said, his voice filled with disappointment. Then keep going, his father said. Some seeds take longer than others. Jack sighed, but continued watering his plot, though his thought wasn't in it anymore. 3 weeks passed. Then one morning, something incredible happened. A tiny green sprout emerged from Ben's soil. Ben was overjoyed. Father, Jack, come see, my seed is growing, he shouted. Jack ran over and saw the small plant. His heart sank. Why isn't mine growing? He whispered. Thomas put his hand on Jack's shoulder. Thomas put his hand on Jack's shoulder. Keep watering, son, don't give up. Days turned into weeks. Ben's plant grew taller and stronger. It developed beautiful green leaves. Ben watered it faithfully, proud of his progress. Jack, however, felt defeated. His plant remained empty. He started watering it less frequently, convinced that the seed would never grow. 1 month passed. Ben's plant was now knee-high, with thick stems and vibrant leaves. Then, 2 months after planting, something miraculous happened. Jack woke up early one morning and walked into his garden. Of what happened when he walked to his garden planting. Something miraculous happened. Jack woke up early one morning and walked to his garden out of habit. When he looked down, he couldn't believe his eyes. A small green shoot had broken into the soil. Father, Ben, come quickly. Jack held. Thomas and Ben rushed over. They saw the tiny sprout emerging from Jack's pot. It finally grew, Jack said. His eyes widened with amazement. Over the next few weeks, something extraordinary happened. Jack's plant grew rapidly, much faster than Ben's hand. Jack's plant grew rapidly, much faster than Ben's hand. Within just 3 weeks, it had caught up to Ben's plant in height, and it didn't stop there. Jack's plant continued growing, becoming taller and stronger than Ben's. Its leaves were broader, its stems thicker, and soon it began producing beautiful large fruits, mangoes, golden and sweet. Ben's plant also bore fruit, but they were small apples, delicate and modest. Both boys stood in the garden, staring at their plants in wonder. Father, Jack said, confused. Why did my plant take so long to grow, but then grow so much bigger? Thomas smiled and gathered his sons. Sit down, boys. Let me explain the lessons hidden in these two seeds. Jack and Ben sat on the grass, eager to understand. Jack, Thomas began. I gave you a mango seed. Ben, I gave you an apple seed. He paused, letting the information sink in. Mangoes
the information sink in.
Mango trees takes much longer to grow because they are building something strong beneath the soil deep roots that will support a large tree.
But they don't grow as tall roots that will support a large tree.
Apple trees grow faster, but they don't grow as tall. Jack's eyes widened with understanding. Thomas continued. The first lesson is this. Don't compare your journey to someone else's. You and Ben were doing different things.
When you saw Ben's plant growing and yours wasn't, you felt like you were failing. But you weren't. You were just on a different path. Ben nodded thoughtfully. But you weren't. You were just on a different path. Ben nodded thoughtfully. The second lesson, Thomas said, is about patience and trust. Jack, you almost gave up because you couldn't see results immediately. But great things take time. The mango tree was working hard underground, building roots you didn't see. Success often happens where building roots you couldn't see. Success often happens where you came hard underground. Building roots you couldn't see.
Success often happens where you can't see it.
Jack felt the wave of green. Success often happens where you can't see it. Jack felt the wave of green.
Success often happens where you can't see it.
Jack felt the wave of realization. Success often happens where you can't see it yet. Building roots you couldn't see. Success often happens where you can't see it underground. Building roots you couldn't see. Success often happens. Success often happens. Building roots you couldn't see.
Success often happens where you can't see it. Jack felt a wave of realization wash over him. He thought about all the times he had doubted himself. The third lesson, his father said with a small smile, is this. Stay consistent even when you don't see progress. You kept watering that seed even when you were discouraged. That consistency is what allowed it to grow. If you had stopped, all that underground work would have been wasted. Both boys sat quietly, observing their father's wisdom. So remember, Thomas concluded, never compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Keep working, stay patient, and trust your process. Your time will come. Jack and Ben promised to carry these 3 important lessons with them for the rest of their lives.
Actually this story is hitted me really hard because most of my time I feel what Jack has been felt in this story. Doing something without progress is really hardest thing in the world, at least in my case. Whenever my videos aren't going well and still I'm practicing my English, still my English was not good enough to communicate, to transfer the information clearly. There was lot of times I was cried like hell for doing this English practice, doing this content creation despite of my talent. I am definitely not having these 2 talents and still I choose to do so. This is the hardest part in my life, I would say, but still I really hope what this story has been said, that you have to stay consistent despite of the progress. So it doesn't matter you're getting progress or not. It's all matter what is matter the most is staying consistent in your progress. So that is what I am doing, and that is what I am believing, and that is what I am hoping for me. Like one day I would reach the Jack moment, like that when he saw the sprout in the soil, the happiness in his face. I need to have that one day in my life. I believe in myself and I am working on that, and yeah, I definitely get few people support for me. So with their support and love and my belief, I definitely reach my Jack moment in my life. I hope so. So yeah, that's it for today's video, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tata, bye, take care.